Hey everyone, two-tone back from Spyral gameplay, this time back with the danger list. I love the dangers, you can't stop me from playing them. And this hand's pretty scuffed. You have 3 Garnets. I mean, Drone isn't a hard Garnet, but you have 2 hard Garnets in the Sleeper and Last Resort in your opening hand. And Drone you don't usually want to draw unless you have like an agent to combo with it. It's not a very good just opening normal summon. And so the only cards I really have to work with are Souls and Danger Jackalope here. And otherwise, yeah, super scuffed hand. And obviously I have no way to stop a maxi if my opponent has it, so I just have to live with that. But yeah, so the way I looked at this hand is I've got a Jackalope and a Soul, so I have to use Souls first because no matter what, I need to get a Master Plan rotation. And once I start activating Jackalope, I can like maybe draw in 2 cards that will let me summon my Master Plan from graveyard. You know, Monster Reborn, Big Red, Quik Fix, or Spyral Resort or Terraforming to get into Quik Fix, 1 for 1, right? Any of these cards obviously get me into a full combo at that point. Heck, I could draw a Rescue or an Assault to discard off my Souls to draw more cards and get, you know, Assault or Rescue effects from the graveyard. So, you know, I have to lead off on Magician Souls and then try to follow up with Jackalope. My hope with Jackalope is when I use it, I will hit anything but Jackalope, because that will draw me more cards, it'll get Jackalope on the field, and I could start maybe comboing from there. Unfortunately, Jackalope snipes itself. I don't know why, but Master Duel Dangers love sniping themselves. I haven't done any math or anything, but it seems unusually likely that they're going to snipe themselves more often than not, even though they're always better than a 50-50 chance unless you're activating them as the only card. But the nice thing about Jackalope is no matter what, you do get material on the field, so I do get a Nessie. I can just normal summon my drone, stack my opponent's deck, I put a Maxi on top. You know, why not put a hand trap when they're going second? And I go into Link Rebo. Now I can actually use Curious. I can turn that drone into Link Rebo, and here we go. I'm in Curious now. Curious used to be played in a lot of Spyral decks back in like 2019, 2020 or whatever, because not because it could mill Destrudo like it does in these Master Duel lists we've been showing off, but because it's just a good extender, right? You can send a rescue mission, you can send a master plan if you don't have a master plan in rotation yet. In this deck, obviously, it sends Destrudo and Jet Synchron if you need them. I could just send like your missions and your assaults to get those effects if you need them. It's just a really, it's a not just a foolish burial, it's a foolish burial of goods, which is insane. And obviously this deck in many iterations runs both of those cards, so why wouldn't you run a Link payoff that gets you that effect? Also, because I've hard drawn my 2 Garnets that I don't want to mill off the Curious secondary effect, this secondary effect is all upside for me, right? If I get lucky, I can, off the top 3 mill, I can get a Destrudo or a Jet Synchron there, which will enable the Synchro plays I'm going to be missing out on, because without Curious, I have no other consistent way to get into my Destrudo and Halcyon Fibrax combo line. So, you know, if I get lucky, I can mill 3 and get one of those combo pieces going. Unfortunately, I'm not lucky. I discard Grepher, Foolish Burial, Nessie, so that doesn't do anything in my graveyard. But I do get the rescue mission. And you might, like, remember, like in most Spyral combos, this is kind of how you get it going. You special summon your master plan from graveyard, and you got a monster on field to turn the barricade blocker, and you're off to the races right now. You know, Tri-Gate Wizard players might be cringing, like, ooh, you're going to turn 4 Link material into a Barricade Blocker? Yeah, I mean, this deck doesn't have Tri-Gate Wizard, and it doesn't rely on it. It doesn't need that much Link material. Like, your only Link payoff is Appaloosa and Access Code Talker, and a little bit IP Masquerena, and you don't usually need that much Link material to make those cards work. So this isn't such a big deal. Maybe if I was running Tri-Gate Wizard, like, I can see if, like, I could maybe make it in this situation, but I don't think so. I'll count my Link material at the end, and we'll see. So I go ahead and get Assault Mission because I've already used my normal summon, and I'm going to have to Assault Mission in my my Quik Fix. Now I can use Barricade Blocker and Chain Block my Master Plan, discard my Assault Mission, and I can use Master Plan to go get a Super Agent and a Resort, and use Resort to go get Quik Fix. So let's resolve all these effects. Assault's now in Graveyard, get my Super Agent, get my Spyral Resort, use my Spyral Resort, which normally I use to get Sleeper, but because I've already drawn it, I can use it to go get Quik Fix. Hooray! So I basically got all my Spyral cards, all my Spyral monsters out of my deck except my last Master Plan. I know Maxi's on top, so I can just go ahead and summon Super Agent, special summon my Quik Fix with the Assault Mission, and go get Big Red. That's my last gear, too, because I drew the drone in the last resort already. So I'll go ahead and use Big Red, summon Master Plan effect, go get my Rescue Mission. This is my second rescue, and I can finally make my Helix. Woohoo! Now we're finally comboing, boys and girls, and non-binary people. So I get my Helix, I can call the Maxi on top, and go ahead and get my Master Plan out of deck, because I obviously don't want to draw her next turn, so get her out of the deck instead. And I get my last rescue mission. Now, because I don't have any more payoffs with my Master Plans, there's no reason for me to use these rescue missions on anything but stopping my Quik Fix from banishing itself. It's like there's no better option here. So I can go ahead and use my rescue mission to chain to my Quik Fix activation that I discarded, and bring Quik Fix back without him banishing himself. Now I wonder if I had enough material at this point. I'm going to go ahead and link Rebo because that maintains my link material while discarding my Quik Fix. So let's count my link material. Could I have made a Tri-Gate Wizard here? You turn these two into Appaloosa. You turn these three into... Turn these two into Nightmare Phoenix. You turn these... No, I don't think you could. So like 1, 2 into Appaloosa. Rescue Mission back Helix on the right side. 1, 2, 3 into Tri-Gate. Oh yeah, if you had Secure Gardener, you could turn Link Reba and Secure Gardener on the left flank. So yeah, if you were running a Secure Gardener Tri-Gate list with this much material, you could have done it. So I could have gotten an Omni Negate here, but I think I end up doing something maybe better regardless. So I have two options here. I could have gone into an IP Masquerena. I could have left this rescue mission in my hand and gone into an IP Masquerena, and I could go into a 3 material Appaloosa, IP Masquerena with card in hand, to turn into Unicorn and Sleeper. Downside is my rescue mission wouldn't be in my graveyard yet, so I wouldn't have an easy time like having a monster to turn into Unicorn with Masquerena. So my other plan was, and probably a better plan against a Rhongo player, which is, I figured out they're Rhongo at this point, is I'm just going to make a 4 material Appaloosa. You know, like, that just seems like the best thing to do. I'm going to go ahead and make IP Masquerena first, and the reason I do that is because I got more than enough material to make Appaloosa, so if I make her with an IP Masquerena, she's now immune to, like, Lightning Storm and Raigeki. You know, or just any other random destruction effect my opponent might have, which is really good, right? It's like a monster destruction effect I won't have to, like, burn her activations on. And this board setup, I lose the IP Masquerena, but I gain 1 negate off my Appaloosa. I can keep my rescue mission in graveyard to use my Super Agent as a back row pop, which is pretty good against Rhongo because they play a lot of, you know, Phantom Knights trap cards as for the Phantom Knights engine. I've got my Sleeper activate, obviously, and I kept my Barricade Board blocker on the field, and the reason for that is, you know, the seldom used secondary effect of Barricade Board is face-up spells you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Now, in a lot of situations when you don't have access to a spell trap negate, like Borreload, Dawn Dragster, or Tri-Gate, you know, your board is susceptible to Harpy's Feather Duster and Lightning Storm. But if my opponent plays Lightning Storm here, you know, they can't destroy my back row, so all they would do is destroy a Barricade Board blocker because Sleeper is immune thanks to Resort, or Last Resort, and Appaloosa is immune thanks to IP Masquerena. If they play a Harpy's Feather Duster, it doesn't do anything. So my opponent would have to have like all 3, Lightning Storm, Raigeki, and Feather Duster, for any of those cards to really out my board, which is, I don't think any Rhongo deck plays that kind of combination. They might play like 1 Feather Duster to out Eldritch decks or something, or a couple of Lightning Storms, so they're going to run all 3 of those cards and draw all 3. So yeah, I've got a pretty resilient board to the sweepers, which is usually a weakness of Spyral boards that don't go full combo. And I got a Sleeper and 4 material Appaloosa against the PK deck, which is pretty good. So let's go through my plays here. My opponent sets 2 cards and activates Jackalope. I'm going to chain Rescue Mission to special summon my Super Agent, and the reason I do this is when people set cards before activating a danger, it's because they don't want to discard those cards off danger, so they're probably good. There might be spell extenders, there might be traps they don't want to discard, so I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, use Super Agent. I don't change Maxi. I put that Maxi on top because I knew it was going to be useless into my Appaloosa, so I go ahead and Appaloosa that. You know, if Appaloosa answered 1 of each card in my opponent's hand, that'd be great. The other cool thing about this is it takes 1 card out of their hand, so if makes much more likely for my opponent to snipe their Jackalope. If my opponent's Jackalope snipes itself, I can negate it in the graveyard with Appaloosa. You don't negate dangers in the hand because they're not once per turn. But yeah, that could like kill their hand if they snipe their Jackalope, and this increases those odds. So Maxi gets negated, I summon Rescue Mission, Agent will resolve on a new chain, and my opponent gets lucky at this card, a useless card, which is like when you normal summon a 3-star monster, you can special summon this card, which is part of like the PK engine, I guess. So I get unlucky, my opponent gets their Jackalope summon and draw, and they discard their worst card in their hand, I'm sure. But I do pop 1, and it's Brigandine, the 1 card they play that would not be susceptible to an Agent pop, so I get unlucky there. I got really unlucky in a lot of parts of this matchup. Now, my opponent gets the Brigandine out, and they go and special summon Psychic Wielder because their Jackalope hit the field. So, obviously, they got super lucky. If that Psychic Wielder was the other card in their hand besides this Kagemucha Knight, you know, if they had discarded that Psychic Wielder, they would have been in a much worse position. But now that my opponent's got, like, Xyz plays going on, I'm just going to, like, maintain my Appaloosa. I'm going to pop these 2. I'm going to pop, I just don't want my opponent like having more plays than that. So they're getting forced to set their last monster, which is great for me. because they can't make any plays. And like the most common card they're going to have in their hand is another 3. So I'm just like most of their Phantom Knights, as you can see, you know, they're going to have Phantom Knight cards, and Phantom Knights are almost all level 3s, and that is great for me because you know if I pop both their 3s, they can't do any Xyz plays once if their last card's a monster. Draw a Nessie, which is funny because Nessie was the card I put back with Spyral Resort, and it's a decent draw, right? I'm going to open up my turn with Sleeper on their 2 cards. Unfortunately, God, if I had hit that Fog Blade with Super Agent, I would have my full Appaloosa activation here. It's not going to end up mattering, but man, that's just, you know, a bad 50-50, right? So I get rid of their last monster, a PK monster. Go ahead and use Nessie. Nessie's obviously going to hit itself. And I could go into Jackalope or Tsuchinoko, but once I like realize my opponent's dead on board, right? They have no outs. The only card they have that does anything is, like, I think this Fogblade or something. It just, there's no card left, so it doesn't really matter what I get. I just get this because it lets me draw deeper into my deck for fun. I can link these 2 off in a Unicorn, and Unicorn is going to co-link with Appaloosa to discard and draw a card to spin their last monster. And that's going to be lethal with access code talker off these 2. And my opponent goes ahead and concedes. There you go, everyone. That was a pretty solid combo out of a really scuffed hand. I think the main stars of that show were obviously Magician Sauce for getting my master plan into rotation, and Jackalope for extending my plays even though it sniped itself. All right, Jackalope was amazing there. And finally, Curious. Curious is a good card to run. It's just an extender in crappy situations. And like a lot of Spyral decks, even without the danger packages, would run Curious just for that reason. It's a good way to like get into your rescue effects if you need them. It's another way to special summon Master Plan from the graveyard. Kind of like the same reason like a lot of decks run Parallel Exceed and Dugaris. It's another extra deck monster that can special summon your Master Plan from graveyard. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you got any questions about the deck or you think like you would have done a different play differently, go ahead and leave those suggestions down in the comments. I'll see you next time. Bye.